There's a man named Ron Cleveland, you know he's the real deal, real deal. Out in the wild, casting lines where the water meets the reel. He's got a heart full of fire and hands that build with pride. In his garage late at night, where the dreams come alive. Ooh, dreams come alive. Oh yeah, yeah. He's fishing, camping, grilling with a smile on his face. Worked his way through hell just to find his place. A loving husband and a man who never quits. Welcome to Ron Stream, where the good times always fit. Oh, sit back and enjoy the show. Ron's the kind of guy who'll light up a grill with a sizzle and a laugh, got that backyard thrill. He's out there on the weekends, pitching up the tent, living life his own way, every single cent well spent. He's fishing, camping, grilling with a smile on his face. Worked his way through hell just to find his place. A loving husband and a man who never quits. Welcome to Ron Stream, where the good times always fit. Oh, sit back and enjoy the show. Through the storms and the trials, he stood his ground. Now he's out in the wild, where peace can be found. From the garage to the river, with friends by his side. Tune in and join Ron, it's a hell of a ride. He's fishing, camping, grilling with a smile on his face. Worked his way through hell just to find his place. A loving husband and a man who never quits. Welcome to Ron Stream, where the good times always fit. Oh, sit back and enjoy the grab a chair, pour a drink, and let's sit a while. Ron Cleveland's live, bringing country style, with friends in the mix and the grill in between. This is Ron Cleveland's world, where life is serene. And the trials, he stood his ground. Now he's out in the wild, where peace can be found. The garage to the river, with friends by his side. Tune in and join Ron, it's a hell of a ride. He's fishing, camping, grilling with a smile on his face. Worked his way through hell just to find his place. A loving husband and a man who never quits. Welcome to Ron Stream, where the good times always fit. Enjoy the show. Through the storms and the trials, he stood his ground. Now he's out in the wild, where peace can be found. Through the storms and the trials, he stood his ground. Now he's out in the wild, where peace can be found. From the garage to the river. There's a man named Ron Cleveland, you know he's the real deal, real deal. Out in the wild, casting lines where the water meets the reel. He's got a heart full of fire and hands that build with pride. In his garage late at night, where the dreams come alive. Ooh, dreams come alive. Oh yeah, yeah. He's fishing, camping, grilling with a smile on his face. Worked his way through hell just to find his place. A loving husband and a man who never quits. Welcome to Ron Stream, where the good times always fit. Oh, sit back and enjoy the show. Ron's the kind of guy who'll light up a grill with a sizzle and a laugh, got that backyard thrill. He's out there on the weekends, pitching up the tent, living life his own way, every single cent well spent. He's fishing, camping, grilling with a smile on his face. Worked his way through hell just to find his place. A loving husband and a man who never quits. Welcome to Ron Stream, where the good times always fit. Oh, sit back and enjoy the show. Through the storms and the trials, he stood his ground. Now he's out.
Now you should be able to hear me because I have to undo this. Why? Because my entire charging system failed. The new, these charging blocks by EASDMN, do not buy these. They are garbage. They are garbage. I literally.
There y'all go.
Yeah, these are garbage. Don't buy these. The cords are fine, but the blocks don't work. They're 45-watt charging blocks, and the phone was completely dead when I walked in here. And then I thought I turned my battery pack on for the microphones, but I didn't, because I'm smart like that. Don't get smart like this. Been getting with a big old fight with my wife the last couple of days, because we're stressed out about this car and everything else that's going on. I had to send the expedition in. Text was happening. Cost was happening. So yeah. All that being said, I hope everybody's having a great day. I don't even know if I want to work on this mess today. I'd like to sell that monstrosity. Anybody got 20 grand for a toolbox they want to part with? There'll be some tools included, but not all. I think what I would like to do now in the future, being the fact that I am not going to ever go back into a mechanic shop, is what I would like to do is get that steel pegboard and put that where the toolbox is. You know what I mean? And just hang my tools on there. Hang all my tools on there. Wrenches, stuff like that, and then just have a small box for like sockets. Everything else can hang. You know, do the whole, make the outline thing for everything. But I would have to sell that monstrosity first. That way all that quits happening. I've kind of determined that I am going to get something to organize and put all my streaming stuff in one central location. I finally had a Temu failure. My Temu 4-bank charger doesn't work. It has failed. Tomorrow I'll have to go out in the fish house and get the fast charger. Oh, now I got the hiccups. So I've been having one of them kind of days today. How y'all been doing? I still have to go in the house and organize.
Going to refresh the screen.
Trying to fix the stream. Are we working now? So let me sit down.
Say something.
Can you hear me now? Probably not over the damn
He's
furnace.
good.
All right. Oh, there. Both of them handy. They're not cheap either. She's probably not here running over there with my chair. That goes over there. So let's have a soda. Let's grab the chat phone. Wait till the microphones are charged up. Furnace is going to run for a minute because I turned it down when I left. I didn't realize it was going to stay as cold as it did all day today. little bit done, but we've been focusing on inside the house currently.
John says evening.
What's happening, John?
OG asks so, how was work today?
Work was actually pretty good. Yesterday, I came into the shop, my batteries all disconnected on my truck to find out that my truck tried starting itself again. So, yeah, that wasn't a good thing. And then today I just went in, washed it, had to do some safety training, which training we're doing, absolutely none of it pertained to any of us in our division. Very rarely we ever get training that pertains to us in our division. What's even funnier is they have my wife do all the same training we do, and she works at a desk. Like sometimes they do the ergonomic stuff for her, like sitting at a desk type stuff. Like this month they had some ergonomic stuff for sitting at a desk, which is cool. But yeah.
John says Boston was a good trip, hoping for good results.
Right on. Why does my stream keep disconnected? What is the problem here? Get your shit together.
OG says I have a new Camelback travel mug for you next time we get together.
I still have your mug here. I have a mug for you now. I have a fillet knife. I have a seatbelt thing. You might just have to start streaming and raise the dono bill so you can come out here and get your shit. Either that or I'll have to meet you the next time I head down towards the cities.
That's nothing compared to this one.
And then the other stuff I was trying to get sent to you, for whatever reason, I don't know what the deal is with the shipping department over there, but their shipping department is messed up. I finally just canceled the order. So I was just like, whatever. I give up. But I have something for you when I see you too. A couple of things. I don't know if I mean, what is it? I got a ton of streaming stuff that you guys know me, I don't throw anything away from my streaming stuff. I don't, none of that. So, what I'm trying to figure out is the best way to store all of that, because I hate just throwing it all
Raw,
in tow.
set up an odd box.
Retro, what's happening? Set up an OG box, yeah. I've been kind of thinking about welding, instead of building it out of wood. I would really want to do the van design simple, but at the same point in time, I'd like to do something really cool. Oh, do you remember that bed design layout that I sent you? The one that has where the guy cut the sheet of plywood in like 5 pieces, and then it does like the accordion thing to lift up and down. I was like, that would be really cool.
Yes.
It would be really cool, but then I got to thinking about it. It's like, well, then I got to put gear on top of my bed. No, because I can put it up in seat mode and I wouldn't have to, but then I lose access from the other side. I don't know. I gotta get on the horn with Dash and figure out when. Right now, I'm pretty sure it's a little too stupid to drag that thing out of his yard. Because we're going to pull it into a shop and see if we can't look at it and figure out where the broken wire is. I keep debating on whether or not I should get a wire feed welder. I do a lot better with metal than I do with wood. I don't know why. It's pretty sad. My dad was a 40-year master carpenter. And I think it's because metal's a lot more forgiving. But metal's also a lot more expensive to work with. Screen blacks out. So we'll just do it this way. Poor Patty, what's happening? Yeah, I don't know. I was really, the way the last couple of days have gone, I was really disheartened by the fact that my Temu charger gave out, and I've got a Temu battery that I got to see if I can get to recover.
John says, so now waiting for the tests they want to run on me. Randy says, good evening.
Randy, what's happening? I need to get one more of these lights. This one gets hung up over there. I want to get one more of these shop lights to hang up inside my toolbox.
OG asks, so, a 4-bank C Garge is for 4 batteries, right?
Yeah.
Randy says, not too much. Just enjoying a 68-degree February day in Oregon.
Right on. Yeah, she gave up the ghost. I had the batteries, well, you guys seen when I got at the end of my stream last time, I plugged all my batteries into it and everything was charging just fine, and then I came into the shop today and everything was just nothing to take a charge. So I have plenty of single chargers. It would just been nice to have that 4-bank charger. I think what I'm gonna do is hang my singles up on the wall over here somewhere, maybe take all these saws down or something. Just hang all my chargers up there, mount them to one board, and then screw the board to the wall.
Matt says, Ronald.
What? Thanks, Mom.
OG says, back in a minute. Gonna heat up dinner. Randy asks, you excited to do some open water fishing again?
Yeah, but I'm not allowed to do it until I get everything cleaned up. I got this, the basement. Now we just got some new furniture yesterday that I got to make room for tonight after the stream. That won't take me long though. I need to get this done so I can get the boat. Actually, I might go pick the boat up tomorrow. Call Matt tomorrow and see if I can't drop it off over there so he can look at it. It's the transom on the solvent's got to be rebuilt. I'm working on a couple of things, but I want to be
and summer
prepared.
fishing is the best.
So I found a bow mount hand-controlled.
John says the boss put her foot down.
Yeah, she has every right to. I didn't get the garage cleaned out for this winter so she can park in here. It's my own fault. That is 100% my fault. She doesn't let me put it down like that because she knows I was working a lot, but
Matt says, oh.
it looks worse than it really is, I promise you. I have problems with the organization, and it's a proven fact. They actually did a study on this, that if you have flat surfaces in your garage, the more flat surfaces that you have in your garage, the more junk you will acquire.
It's not too bad.
No, because a lot of this stuff has to go into the storage garage over there. I'm going to go over tomorrow and look at that and see what that's going to entail.
I got the same problem. Randy says makes sense. Retro asks at OG burnout factor.
So right now I'm charging you guys off of my homemade DeWalt battery setup. The microphones are charging on the laptop battery bank. I need to get a new bench vise too, because mine is just the deal that locks it in place to keep it from spinning is stripped out. But what I want to do is tear this bench out once I got the money to build the.
Matt says at Retro's Chop Shop. At Matt DA9 at Randy H1990 at NH Captain Sup.
So what I want to do is tear this bench out. I want to build a roller bench and then mount my vise to that. But I want to do it with casters on it that I can lock, so if I really got a reef on this thing, it's going to hold. And then I'm going to call a few of my tool guys.
John says, hey there, Petro and Matt.
I'm going to call a few of my guys and see if...
Randy asks, hey Retro, how's it going?
See if I can't...
Matt says, hey Cap.
See if I can't get a cash offer on this toolbox, so I can get the steel to put up the pegboard. If I could open the front wall of this shop up, I would have more room to work on stuff in here. And right now, the OK bodies, it's not... I took it for a drive today. It needs a lot more work than I thought. And I was talking to the guys over at Half-Ass Garage, and we're gonna have some conversation about it here later on tonight. I'm gonna head over there, go bullshit with them.
Randy says supposed to be able to see all the planets to the west after sunset tonight.
Honestly, it's just never been my thing. You know what I'd really like to build? I think would be really cool. If you guys have been here a long time, you know one of my all-time favorite trucks was my 2011 Ford Ranger. It was a 4-cylinder, 2-wheel drive. My buddy Jimbo the Viking.
Retro says at Weathercop.
My buddy Jimbo the Viking, he made me custom 4x2 graphics for it.
Matt says at Weathercop.
It was actually sponsored.
Big Daddy yells Nate Teo.
Welcome to my house.
Hey,
These are my people. This is my land. This is what we pray for. And this is God's plan.
thank you for that Twitch Prime sub. Actually, there was no glass packs on that truck. That truck was custom built, short tube headers, down to 2.5 inch exhaust, and when it got underneath the cab, it went to an X pipe and then straight out the back. No glass packs. That truck was 100% straight piped.
That thing sounded mean.
I could do that exact same setup.
Oh, okay.
I could do that exact same setup in the Expedition, but I just don't want to listen to the drone. The drone in an SUV is absolutely horrible. You ask anybody who's ever had loud exhaust on an SUV, and the
Big Daddy yells
Welcome to
Weathercop.
my house.
22 months in a row.
These are my people. And this is my land. This is what we pray for. And this is God's plan.
Amen to that. Yeah, I really want to do the exhaust on the Expedition because I know how that thing is going to sound. I just don't want to deal with the drone. I wouldn't be able to hear myself think. I don't really drive it that far, but on like last year when we took it to Red Lake, that's my fishing rig. So that's even the drone got a little annoying inside that crew cab pickup. I would have to tear the entire interior out of that truck and put sound deadening in it, and I'm just not going to do that.
Randy asks, what's the drone exactly?
It's the drone from the exhaust. When you make your exhaust louder, when you take the restriction out of it, it causes a drone inside your vehicle. That's why you see, if you ever watch the old hot rod shows and stuff like that, those guys will take sound deadening material and they'll put it in there to try and cut out that drone from the custom exhaust underneath their cars. I like loud exhaust. I really like loud exhaust. It's one of my things. But I also, me getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I have to be a little courteous to my neighbors. So.
John says it resonates.
Yeah. Every bend you put in exhaust causes what's called reverberation. And reverberation is where sound comes from. So
Randy says, yeah, for certain.
When I do the X pipe in my exhaust yes, it has a little bit of performance value, not a whole lot, but it evens out the sound. It evens out that sound, but it makes such a hard pitch in and a hard pitch out that it causes a louder reverberation coming out. And then when you bend it over the rear axles and the bends to make everything work right, it can get really, really loud. And that's one of those things that I don't want to do at 4 o'clock in the morning when I'm going to work to piss my neighbors off. My one neighbor behind me over here, he's finally starting to talk to me now that I don't have loud stuff sitting around here all the time. I had my 48 Ford mud truck. Used to fire that thing off all the time. That thing was wide open headers, nasty loud with a big block in it. The 03, my 73 square body, my Focus, we did a full custom exhaust on that for fuel mileage, but it turned out to be really, really loud. I've had a lot of really loud stuff around here. And me being a driver, I work all different hours of the day and night, and it's like, he's just starting to talk to me now that I've on running quieter vehicles. He kind of wishes I would take a little better care of my yard at times, but it's like, well, I don't really have any other place to put this stuff within a close proximity. But, you know, oh, I gotta look at something here. Before I forget, I get double whammy with it. Alright, forgot to pause my Starlink service for a while because we won't need it for a couple of months. There's no point in spending $165 a month. We're not going to use it for a
Billy
while.
asks, are you and Dash going to try to figure out the wiring in van or take it to Snack Shop?
No, we won't take it to Snacks. He doesn't do wiring. We will. I mean, right now it's muddy out here and that kind of stuff, and then he's got stuff he's doing at home, so we'll get together. First thing we need to do is get this all cleaned up, and then we're going to work on it at his place and see if we can't see or figure it out. If we can't figure it out, then it'll go to a shop, and we'll let somebody else figure it out. Then I gave my Craig
Roger that.
I gave my Craig jig away thinking that I wasn't going to use it anymore because I only used it a couple times. And now I'm going to have to order a new one because I wouldn't need it. I got the screw jig, but I don't have the saw jig. And it's because I was originally going to buy a track saw. I really like their track saw. And I kind of want, that's kind of what I'm shooting for, is their track saw setup. Because that would make cutting plywood pieces a lot easier. You know, when you're ripping a sheet of plywood, man, that would just be nice.
OG says at Retro's Chop Shop, yes sir.
I was like, you know how much cooler it'd be if I could line all these walls with pegboard and just hang stuff on the pegboard? I just need a bigger shop. Where's Billy? Billy, where's them Oilers? Billy. We need a bigger shop. I know where there's one that's way too much money for it, but at least we'd have a shop.
Billy says shish.
There's a shop about 8 miles from here. It's got plenty of room for storage for cars and boats and stuff.
They are watching.
Oh, right on. There's a shop down
And they
here.
are plotting.
Sweet. But the shop is about 8 miles from here. If you guys, so in my area, it's absolutely asinine what shop rentals go for out here. Like I looked at renting a 2-bay shop, and they literally wanted $1,600 a month. I'm paying for their shop, their property taxes, and they're making a hell of a profit. I'm not looking at it to make any type of revenue. I'm looking at it to do my own stuff, you know, but that doesn't make any difference. And these guys will let these shops sit for years. I kid you not, there's one shop that I ask about on a regular basis. It has been sitting empty for 4 years now. For 4 years, it has been sitting empty. I told the guy I'm in for $800 a month. That's reasonable. I could fit 4 vehicles in there. You know, and it's got some outside storage, and it's in a decent area where I don't have to worry about anybody coming to monkey with anything. But it would be nice. You know, that way I could take all this stuff out of my home garage, put it in an actual shop where I've got space to work on stuff, because it has a whole side nook for tools. The guy used to work in the shop all by himself. It's got 220 in it already, set up for welders, it's got a lift in it, and it just sits. You want $1,600 a month, and you pay the property taxes and utilities.
He is stupid to not take that deal.
Because I could do enough in there to cover the bills. I'd like to get into more fabricating stuff, you know, but it's simple stuff like building trailers or trailer repair or
If
something
you
like
offer
that.
him anything over $600, he is stupid.
Well, with what property taxes are on it and everything
Do
like
not
that,
say it is yours.
I tried. I know at $800 a month plus utilities and things like that, I could feasibly make enough money out of that garage for it to pay for itself. I could do that. My garage is not big enough. I tried doing trailer repair here when I had my own wire feed. I tried doing some trailer repair and stuff like that here. I just don't have the space. I had thought about getting into like a mobile welding unit, but those are extremely expensive. But I like doing that kind of stuff. Out here, I live in ag country, so there's a lot of times you get a call at 2-3 o'clock in the morning where the farmer's got his stuff broke, or a guy with his fish house is broke, or look at me, my jack breaks on my fish house twice this year. Oh hey, well there's a guy that can fix that. You know, he'll come right out on the lake and get it set up so we get it off the lake, and then he'll fix it. That's the kind of stuff I'd like to do. I don't want to do any production stuff. I'm not into production welding at all. You know, and then do like I used to do. Get a cheap vehicle, buy some cheap stuff, fix it, and then I think my thermostat's going wonky. No, I bet you it's because all the stuff I got in front of it. I should move that thermostat. Move it over here. I can do that. Maybe that'll be the tomorrow project, so that way that thing's not kicking on so much. Also, I haven't had it very well heated this winter. Normally that thing's rated 65, 60 degrees, so it melts the snow off our vehicles, but it would be nice to give my wife our garage back so that way we could park in the garage like normal residents. But the other shop, the guy wants $169,000 for it. And for now, I would just run a generator up there for when I need to do work in there, and then, I gotta have propane heat brought in there anyways, so I just get a hot dog heater and put it in there for now.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, it's not that. It's the stuff I got hanging on the wall. And honestly, if I had
Wall on.
I've got this garage set up for when I was doing mechanic work in here. I used to do a lot of it. And so the concrete's not warm, so it's going to kick on that because the cold air from the concrete's interfering with that. Tonight I'll get everything moved in the house, and then tomorrow I don't know if I'm going to stream it or not, but I'll be kicking ass in this garage. I'll have to get a bunch of stuff done in this garage. I just get the one rod holder in here, get that hung up so I get the rest of the fishing rods hung up. That'll be priority number one. And then start chunking stuff in the dump trailer. Try and get that loaded up at least once before tomorrow. I was supposed to get another shed here, but that fell through. Our old one kind of just fell apart.
Well oilers and Princes sometimes come out on Saturdays.
It would be my biggest issue that I have is storage, because I have to store a lot of stuff in here that I don't use all the time. Like I used to have a shed, and then I had another place for storage, so I don't have that anymore. And that's really honestly what I need is storage. That way I have this stuff, I can get to it. That's why first thing tomorrow morning I'm going to go over, I'm going to go look in that other garage, see what I can do to at least get the door open. So I can move a bunch of the stuff in here. Because I got a mini fridge for in here, and I've got a mini fridge for the basement. So I can have all that stuff set up. Alright, dude, I'm not listening to you anymore. Yeah. That's no longer go time for you. Yeah, you're off. You're done. You're done. You're done. You're done.
OG says it is getting colder tonight.
Yeah, turned it up a little higher than I normally do, but I just turned it way down again. There. I need to find mechanic supplier. Where is my wire?
I'd rusted shed is for sale if you are interested.
Yeah, the first thing we set up for was pan fishing this year. Should go get something to throw in the smoker tomorrow. Put the smoker outside and do a little smoking.
Whereabouts? Delivery might be available. Sniping Barber F says available, probably, cheap, doubtful.
Oh, there ain't nothing cheap about that process. I'd have to go get a heavy trailer. They literally have to load that toolbox on a flatbed tow truck. If I were to go to another shop, I'd have to call a tow company to come move it. It's that heavy.
OG says, bah, we can fit it in my truck.
Oh, no, we can't. That box is longer than your truck bed with the tailgate down. I don't know how you plan on lifting it up there, but you ain't got me and you got a messed up back. It took 4 of us to put the top cabinet on it. That's when I was in way better shape. We had 4 grown men here to put that top cabinet on it. It's a lot heavier than you think. I'm thankful to have it, but there's days I really wish I could just get rid of it. But that's the downside about buying a custom box, because what you pay to have them, and then it's not that they're any worth. It's not that they're not worth money. It literally has a serial number. Jake, what's happening? This one's custom built. I mean, it's a maximizer, but it's custom built. It's literally bed lining. It's sprayed down with bed lining on the outside of it. I don't have, well, I got water, but I'm not drinking water right now, Jake. I'm drinking Coke Zero. Oh, it's not hard for me to part with it. If somebody came in here and offered me the right money for all this stuff, I'd get rid of all of it. I would get rid of all of it in a heartbeat.
What the heck is happening at work? 2 Merc pages in the last 10 minutes. Sniping Barber F says he'd probably make them clean it up though.
A lot of it is because I'm not a professional mechanic anymore. So I really don't need all these tools. I could get by, I could take half the money that I would sell this for, go to Harbor Freight and get the stuff that I actually use and be just fine. There's certain things here that I would keep, like all my DeWalt stuff, because I use that quite frequently. I would keep all that. And then my Mac Tools electric stuff I would keep because I use those. But pretty much everything else is all replaceable.
My dad probably has a lot of tools he doesn't need for him roadside too.
Yeah, I would just like to get a master mechanic set to just carry around with me. I've lost so many, being on the road for a year, I lost so many high-end tools, and it was just ignorant. I know better than to carry tools around like that, especially high-end stuff, and it's so I've got mismatched wrenches and mismatched this and mismatched that. It's, bounced out of the trailer. When I pulled everything out, something could have fell on the grass or in the gravel, and I just didn't see it. And how many times did we load up in the dark?
Randy asks, what's Mert OG? OG says Medical Emergency Response Team. Randy says, I thought that might be it.
Yeah, I think a lot of it, the only reason I want to get rid of it is because I just don't have the space. I would like to open this garage back up to where we could park 2 vehicles back in here again in the wintertime. It would be very, very nice to be able to do that. Because like this last cold spell we had, it would have been really nice to have our vehicles in here to thaw out and be ready to go.
Jim Alley asks, just got here. What is the offer on the toolbox? Did I hear it comes with tools?
I said if somebody makes me a reasonable offer, I'll put it to you this way. I got offered $25,000.
OG says 20K Jim D.
Yeah, it's $20K for the box. I would let the box go for $20 grand. I paid over double that for it. What I want to do is, if I got to stay in this garage, I want to get rid of a lot of the shelving and stuff, and I want to put up the steel pegboard. So what I'll do is I'll put furring strips out, put the pegboard.
Randy yells, wow.
Yeah, I paid a lot of money for that box, and it was one of those deals. I was making good money.
Jim Ali says, lol, forget that I asked.
That's what I mean. I got a few tool guys that'll take it in on trade and give me 2 smaller boxes for it, but I don't know that I want tool boxes anymore. I don't need big tool boxes. I need a small one to hold, miscellaneous stuff like my odds and ends junk drawer stuff, but I put them steel pegboards up.
OG says that doesn't include the AC unit.
Oh, I'll throw the AC unit in on it. That's actually the old one from the van.
I know.
I have a lot of big hopes and dreams. I was really considering considering having an auction, selling everything, and then I wanted to start getting serious about looking for a lake house, but I don't know. There's times I'd really like to have a lake house just so I could walk out to my boat. It's already there, drop it down lake, go fishing, or just jump on the 4-wheeler and head out to my fish house. And then other times it's like I'd like to have a little just piece of property tucked away where I don't have to, my neighbors aren't right on top of me. I love where I live. I love the town that I live in. I love my neighbors.
Retro says, look at them oil change stickers back there in the hutch.
Yeah, used to do a lot of those. Used to have a drip oil stove. Used to do those pretty much at cost. What it cost me for parts because I had a drip oil stove, so. But I found out how unsafe that those things can be. Them homemade drip oil stoves, they can be extremely unsafe if you're not watching them. The old home furnace in here does pretty good. I got her up on a couple of cinder blocks. She does good in here.
Randy asks, what's the box called?
It's a Maximizer, Mac Tools Maximizer. The big thing for me on it was having the deeper socket drawer on top.
Retro says that Randy H 1990 Maximizer.
So the things that I was really looking for that this box has was, one, the deep socket drawer. Because when I was working on semis, I had extra deep sockets. So I wanted a deep socket drawer. That was priority number one. Well, I suppose you guys aren't attached to the wall, so I can bring you over here. Let's find this unit right here. bring you guys over here. So this way I can see the camera, see what I'm pointing you guys at. Hi. So the big thing was the deep socket drawer. As you can tell, I'm missing a whole ton of my sockets. They're probably all over in boxes and on benches and stuff like that.
Probably the 79-inch box.
And then, jeepers, I got a lot of screwdrivers laying around in here somewhere. Usually this drawer is about full. Good grief. Well, I know there's some in the fish house. There's some in the expedition. And then my mess of wrenches. That's all just box wrenches. On RetroStream, we were talking about these gear wrenches. Brother, I've had these for over 10 years. I've yet to have to warranty one out. But I also don't use them for breaking stuff loose like a lot of people do.
Looks like my toolbox Ron Lowell.
I have yet to break one of these using it properly. You know, like I'll break it loose with another one, and then I'll throw one of them on there. Next drawer. Well, I know I got about 4 or 5 of them in the fish house, and I think I got 2 of those in the expedition. People always ask why you got so many pipe wrenches, and I'll tell you why. Because I have encountered, and I like old tools too, so like you'll see a couple of these old vintage ones over here. Like this one here. This is an old Craftsman pipe wrench. See what it says on there? That's an old Craftsman. Used to mess with the new guys when they come in the shop. Be like, go grab my 14mm pipe wrench.
Automod got me.
Be like, go get me that 14mm pipe wrench out of my toolbox. A what? 14mm pipe wrench. And then, you know, you got to have pliers. So those are my snap ring pliers. And then I've got various ones. I've got hose pliers, and I've got angled needle noses. Like these are for grabbing hold of hoses. So you can, like heater core hoses and stuff. I've got a few of those. I just got to figure out where they're all at.
OG says lol.
Then I got a bunch of wire strippers that are supposed to be in here. Then I've got this.
Retro yells, why is my message getting removed?
Is there cussing in it? Family friendly terms,
OG
brother.
says because of the swear word. Retro says NGS.
Missing some hammers too, but I know I got some sitting over there on the saw. I know there's a couple in there somewheres. There's a couple up here on this bench. Yeah. There's the 2 mini fridges sitting right over there. There's another air conditioner right there. Cooler, RV furnace, bass tackle box. That's just my bass lures there. The ones that I take with me. That's my bass box. That's battery charger right there. That's one of them old school ones that has the alternator tester on it.
But damn is okay.
And then down here we got Matco tools. We got DeWalt Mac tools. I went over to Mac tools largely in part 1 because my buddy deals them, but when I got my first DeWalt kit, the batteries from the DeWalt are interchangeable with the Mac tool stuff. So like this is one of my favorite tools as far as mechanic stuff. This battery operated die cutter, because it has adjustable RPMs on it. Not that I can get you guys in there very well, but I can adjust the RPM rate on it based on whatever I'm using. And so like when you use this one, these discs have a 22,000 RPM max. Now you say, well, that only turns 9,000 RPM, right? That only turns 9,000. But this dude, wherever it is, This dude will turn every bit of that if I'm set up on a shop setup. That dude will turn every bit of that. Come on. But this whole texture on here is basically the same texture, same material they put in pickup beds. Bed liner. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but if you look, that's bed liner material. And then I got a couple of tool kits up there. And then you go over here. I got a whole bunch of specialty kits. I've got this is the caliper screw-in deal, you know, for the screw-in calipers. I've got a master lug set. I've got tap and die kits. Good drill bits. Just Lord knows I go through a lot of them fabricating stuff. Pry bars, which I'm missing a bunch. Broke a couple of them. Need to get new ones. Vault drawer. This was a must-have for me. Why a vault drawer, you say? Why do you gotta have a vault drawer? I'll tell you why. Because I used to work in a shop where there were some dishonest people. You know, most mechanics, a lot of us, because we don't want to lay on our wallet, we just throw it on our toolbox somewhere so we don't forget it. Unfortunately, you know, especially after my garage got robbed, I had to have this. This is so I could lock my personal stuff up in there and not have to worry about it. I mean, you really got to want to get in there in order to open this. You pretty much have to bust the entire drawer to get into it. And then Allen wrenches, brake tools, gasket scraper. And then every tool. You're not a real mechanic. I'm going to say this. You're not a real mechanic unless you have the junk drawer. The junk drawer. This is where you go to find oddball stuff. Oddball sawzall blades, wire wheels, files, garbage micrometers. Oh, look, another tape measure. But yeah, weird oil filter wrenches like this that you got to use for foreign cars. Yeah. This is just where it collects. This is a Ford hub socket right here. I have the other one too. That's over at Matt Olson's place. But that is the Ford hub socket. So when you get to change out hubs and stuff like that on Fords, you got to have these. Yeah. And then, you know, fuel line tools. I've got two different versions of those. Mac tool screwdrivers, Matco star screwdrivers, drill bit sizes, nut sizes, bolt sizes. Yeah, oil change stuff. And then, of course, filter wrenches hang back there. And then that weird old tool that I found. I just thought that was really cool. I have no idea what they used it for. I have no idea what it was for, but I just thought it was really cool and I couldn't throw it away. If you ever work on Ford modular motors, you know that these things are absolutely crucial when you're doing spark plugs. Thread chaser tools. Do modular motors on Fords, you got to have that. If your mechanic is changing your spark plugs out and not using these thread chaser tools, you should probably question them. Because Ford modular motors like to blow spark plugs out of them. And a lot of it is because they don't clean the threads out. But yeah. So a couple of things was I did not want a power drawer. So back when I bought this box, the power drawers were a big thing. The charging drawers for your tools. And what it was is that, you know, like I would have been fine because I went to DeWalt tools. I eventually switched out all my other stuff. I think I've got one snap-on driver, impact driver left. And that's because I had to buy that on a whim. I needed it right now. So So the only thing I wanted in this box was that power strip. That's it. Kind of weird like that, but that's all I wanted. Any questions? Oh, I can't really close this, but because this air conditioner is sitting right here, I don't know if I can shove it back any further. Hold on. Look at all that cleanup I just did. Look at all of that cleanup I just did. And that's all anodized orange. All of that's anodized. And then on the back...
Billy says thanks for the field trip. Sweet box.
Well, on the back of it, there is a badge that will stay with me. It's a screw-on badge that I will take off if I ever do get rid of it. It says, custom built for Redneck Invasion. Indicating that it was custom built for me. I had to wait 6 or 8 months for that box. So, and it's all unikeyed. It's one key, does everything on it. Of course, I switched the camera the wrong way, trying to do something else because I'm smart. Don't do what I do. But, yeah. Many hours spent. Oh, look. Oh, gee, you got more. You got way more than your 100 bits worth. Look at there. In the fishing box. I've done a lot of lift kits here. Built 3 mud trucks here. One was my own personal tour for other people. Done a lot of stuff in this little garage. I'm not ashamed of this little garage at all. When I quit working for a mechanic shop and came in here to work, this garage paid a lot of bills in this house. Problem is I no longer have a scan tool that is compatible with these newer cars. Like a lot of them, a lot of these newer cars, to be able to set like ABS sensors and things like that, or when you're doing brake jobs on them, got to be able to set the computers on them. And for me, I like working on cars when I want to. I don't like doing it as a have to. There's been a rumor around the shop up at work that I'd be the next mechanic in place up there, and I have zero interest in that. I like to build stuff up there, but I don't want to work on big trucks anymore. And I think a large part of it, a large part of that for me is because I don't like doing things to just get things running. If that makes sense. I like to make sure things are fixed and fixed the right way. And the fact that our mechanic up there now has done everything and does everything he does is, I can never hold a candle to what that dude does, and I don't want to try and fill those shoes. We were having a discussion about it today because the mechanic looked right at me and he's like, "You'll be next at my job." I'm like, "No, I will not. No, sir. Leave me in the truck." Within the next 4 to 5 years, everybody that as far as the drivers and the mechanics and the loader I work with, they'll all be retired. And that scares me. It was a blessing to come into a unit where I had veterans. And I mean, we're talking with the 4 primary guys that I work with, there's, between all of them, there's over 100 years experience sitting there. And it was a huge learning curve for me. I was blessed to walk into that, but it was a huge learning curve for me because I'd never worked for a truck outfit where you service your own trucks. You wash your own trucks. You do as much of the repairs on your own trucks as you can. I worked for one farming operation where we would come in and we would get everything prepped. If we wanted to, we could come in a month early and they would pay us to prep our trucks for the season. You know, because they didn't get run a whole lot during the off season. So like coming in, you know, doing the basic stuff, checking airlines, changing out tires if they needed them, going through your trailer, you know. But even then, the heavy mechanical stuff, and they considered brakes heavy mechanical, we didn't touch it. They sent it in. You know, you go out and they want you to go out and drive this truck and trailer around the area for a day empty just to see how everything acts and how everything goes. They literally pay you for 8 hours to just go out and drive your truck around. And, you know, if it was determined, even brake chambers, like they asked me today, they're like, well, they asked me, can you do brake chambers? I said, yeah, I just haven't done them in a really long time. And I haven't done semi brake chambers in close to 10 years. You know, can I figure it out? Yeah, that's what most mechanics do, is we get in there and we figure it out. You know, I was a mechanic before there was Lube Tube and social media. You had Chilton's and Haynes manuals and you had the all data system, but they weren't exactly step by step. You know, you had to diagnose the problem. Well, most of the time we use those manuals just for torque specs. And that was their main purpose in our lives, was mainly torque specs and wiring schematics. I am decent with wiring. I just don't like to do it at all. I just do not like wiring. I know it's hard to tell with all the crap that I rewire and wire and, you know, but it's also because I don't want to pay somebody $120 an hour to do it for me. But the Expedition, I'm at a loss. I can't figure it out. So I want to get rid of that disco light, so I have to find somebody. I have to bring that in and have somebody do that. And sometimes, like now, the main question I ask myself when it comes to working on my own stuff, you know, like the sending unit is bad in my truck and the Expedition. Fuel pump works great, but if you're going to go in there and do it, you do the whole thing in one shot. You don't just replace the sending unit. You know, hindsight would tell you that eventually that fuel pump will go bad. So once you're in there and you're already paying for it, you get it all done in one unit. It's $700 to have it all replaced. So it's like, and $300 of that is the part. So it's like, is the $400 in labor worth having somebody else do it? In my mind, yes. Because for me to do it, I got to lay in here on my back, try not to break the metal connectors on it for the fuel line, you know, and do it by myself. It's not that I can't do it. It's just, that's one of them kind of jobs that's way easier to do when it's on a lift. Laying on your back and doing that kind of stuff, and then doing it on jack stands, laying on a concrete floor. Yeah. And the biggest part for doing it on a concrete floor is you got to get up, get down, get up, get up. Those of you guys have watched they watch me do stuff, it's like how many times you see me have to get up off the floor and grab a tool, because all of a sudden you go from 7mm bolts and they've got one 8mm bolt, or you got a bunch of 10mm bolts and they got a 7mm bolt in there somewhere. No rhyme or reason behind it, but that one bolt is a 7mm as opposed to a 10. You know? And anybody who's worked on cars knows my pain exactly. The diesel, when I do that, the reason I'm having somebody else do that is because with the injectors I'm putting in there, they require a tune that has to be interfaced with a laptop to make sure that they're timed right, and I don't have that. And I don't want to take the chance of damaging brand new injectors and a brand new turbo because I've got to bring it down to the shop. And it probably wouldn't cost me anything to get it towed down there, but again, is it worth the headache? Is it worth where they'll have it done in a couple of days to where it's going to take me a couple of weeks to do because I can only get on it a couple hours at night? You know, not to mention that truck does not fit in this garage very well. The back bumper will be at the door, and the front bumper I'll have about just enough to where I can walk sideways in here. I've had those trucks in here numerous times, and that truck barely fits in here. I've had it in here, it barely fits. Like in order to walk around it, I have to have the garage door open. So usually what I do with them longer vehicles is I'll buck them right up to the bench, and then the bench will be my platform for in front of it for when I'm working on them. So then I make sure the bench is completely cleaned off. I should go to that place and see what a Conex container costs. I could weld shelves into that. Get an extension cord made for the old arc welder.
It will be interesting with the garage-a-thon tomorrow watching you clean.
You got high hopes, huh, Billy? Remember what happened last time, Billy, when I had a day off? I just came in here and about had everything cleaned up and turned the stream on, and you're like, what the hell? Billy got high hopes. Well, it doesn't take it long.
Yeah.
Didn't take it long to drop the temperature in here. What's the temperature?
Remember it well.
So it's amazing what you get accomplished. Let me see here. Shit, it's only 22 degrees out? Damn. Well, it's supposed to drop down to 8 degrees tonight. Yeah, it's going to get cold tonight. And tomorrow it's only supposed to be 29 degrees. What are you trying to talk me into, Billy? What are you trying to talk me into? It's only supposed to be 29 degrees tomorrow. Could have rain snow mix on Tuesday.
OG says off to bed. Have a great night. Billy says LMAO yes, but not in heated garage. Night OG.
Yeah, but I gotta go outside. I gotta run a bunch of the stuff across the road. I'm gonna have to clean out that side and put all the stuff that's got to go in.
Randy says later, OG.
I wonder if this thing will even start right now. I haven't ran this in a minute. Sitting here looking at it. Run. Start.
Billy says, I don't want you getting soft.
What? What are you talking about? Billy, do you even know what you're talking about? I don't think you do. Fuel's on. Is there gas in it, or did I run all the gas out of it last time? Well, gas in her. Might be a little fluttered. She might be a little fluttered. Run. Well, she should go. A little smoky in here. Whee! Oh, CO2 poisoning. What is he doing? Yo, Aaron's still got her. Oi. Yeah, we might have to open the garage door now. Oh, smoky in here, eh? That'd be the easy way to clean the garage. Just run the snow blower through it all. Right? Right? No comment from the peanut gallery? There, maybe I'll hold it out of there. Sweet. Let her out a little bit in here. No smoke in there, eh? No smoky.
Look at that exhaust roll, baby. Just like last year.
Well, that's the thing. I ain't got to run it this year. I ain't got to run it all this year. But March's here. to try something here. I get to try something whether you like it or not. Thank you very much.
This is the month you can get hammered or get 70s.
Yep. It's typically how it works around here. Let's pop this off. Let's set y'all down here. Oh, that's right. This works like this. This goes like this. Maybe. Oh, like that. I'm asparagusing. No Ron Clevelands were hurt during the filming of this video. You too could sponsor Ron Cleveland for less than a cup of coffee a day. Probably not, but so let's put y'all. Remember how to do this.
Jim, Dash, Rotax, I need to step out for 15. Can one of you keep Ron in order?
Probably not. Alright, let's do. How do we do this now? I gotta remember how to do this. This. No, that's not it. Is it following me? See, and then it does that. Why does it do that? No, go this way. There you go. It's almost like the phone is too heavy for it. I don't know. See, and then it does it again. What is this malfunction? Is there something on you? Is there a reason you can't keep up with me? Now it just wants to do its own thing. need more.
Big Daddy yells Larry to subscribe for 45 months in a row.
Hey!
These are my people. This is my land. This is what we pray for. This is God's plan.
Dash says at Weathertop, damn it man, I'm trying to lurk here.
He's almost dead. Oh, it's full. It's like it works when it wants to. Throw some juice at it and see what happens. The only bad thing about this gimbal is I can't use it with my microphones and I can't charge the phone while I'm using it. Because any cord drag on it or any excess weight, it just quits working. But when it works, it's cool. I should have used this in the fish house, and I didn't even think about it. Next year we will. Well, next year we should have 45 runs. I think the next priority for me is going to be working on this bench so I can get my charging table set back up again. Dash, my Timu 4-bank charger quit out. They don't want to work no more.
Really? Already?
Yeah. I put the batteries on it the other day when I ended stream, or when I was ending stream, and I came back out and none of them were charged. It is what it is.
Just used mine today. Still working.
Yeah, that's the first one I had to put out. cart for my welder because I'm going to get a 50-foot extension cord made for it so I can run it off the driveway. So when I built the brackets for my electric jacks, then I have to get that up in the air so I can fix that frame issue. See what I got to do to fix that, because I'm going to have to cut the old stuff out, because I got to do the one all the way across the back. I got to do the one on the right side, and then I'll check the rest of them out underneath there. Plus, I got to build. When I do that, I'm going to build the pedestals for electric jacks on it. I did get my front work boots. I was going to wear those tonight. I'll wear them when I clean the garage. I wore them all day today at work. I was pretty impressed with them. I got the slip-on front work boots. They're steel-toed. I was actually quite impressed with them. I was actually really impressed with them. I'd heard mixed reviews from guys whether they liked them or not. Now it's just a matter of seeing the durability, how long they last. And they're almost $200 a pair, so my Skechers have seen better days. But if these slip-on work boots start working good, I'll probably be. They work good. If I can get a year out of them at least, which is typically my goal for work boots is a year. If I can get a year out of them, then I'll order another pair, and I'll have 2 pairs sitting around here. They weren't real. They were kind of tough to get on at first because they make they're just ankle boots. So, but they're composite toed with the heavy rubber on the front. I was actually really, really impressed with them as far as when I took them out of the box and things like that. But we'll see how they work. I'll end up doing a review video on those. I'm going to have to take one of the seats, one of the front seats out of the van because that's going to be, well, I got to measure them out first. I want to see if my batteries are going to fit in there. Otherwise, they're going to have to go in. I'm going to have to figure something out with the back seat. See? Why does it do that? Why you do that? Hey, dude, I'm right here. Snap out of it. It just, why? What? What is your deal? What is your malfunction? It's like if you're not moving, this thing times itself out or something. I don't know. I don't get it. I always feel like somebody's watching me. See, it just does its own thing. I don't get that. What is your malfunction here, pile? You got power, but as soon as I touch this, it comes back to life. Where's the book? Let's find the book. Let's look at the book. Let's see. So
To Laserbeam says that's a cool hat. I'm digging that logo he has. Looks sweet.
yeah, I like them. So let's try AF mode. What is LF? Okay, let's try that and see what happens. So I got a few different ways that I can work this thing. See, and then it did it again. So I'm doing that. So it's doing that. Let's see.
Barrican says, what you playing with?
The gimbal.
Phone keep falling or something?
Oh, it keeps shutting itself off. So I'm figuring it out. So what if we were to mount this up here, right? Like this. Take this dude and turn him like so. No, that ain't gonna work neither. I don't know, it keeps powering itself down and I don't know why. So what is the default mode on it? HF. The only bad thing about the gimbal is I can't use microphones or run a charging cord with it. But it's nice if I was working around the shop that I could follow me. But see, then it does that. And then I gotta come over here and I gotta hit the power button again. function is. I do not know. It's almost like because the phone, these Samsung phones, got to sit kind of at an angle. And I wonder if it's just putting too much stress on the access on it because of the way the buttons are. It's almost like I feel like that thing should be on top. Where does it look again? Of course, it doesn't show you a picture of exactly how it's supposed to be laid out. And there it did it again. What's your deal? I don't get it. That's the light. Hello? I'm over here. Try that now, just messing with that button. Wonder if it's because this light's on. Turn that off and see what it does. See if that works any better. Maybe it doesn't like bright light. No? I think this is why I quit using it in the first place. Because it kept doing this with this phone. Because as soon as I touch the power button, away it'll go. And it'll work just fine. But I'm not going to run over here every 5 seconds and hit the power button. Alright, you lose. I'm done with you. Oh shit. Done with it. Done with you. Try this. What if I were to Well, I think that's why I quit using it in the first place. Because it just kept doing its own thing. I was trying to remember why I didn't use it. I had such a cool contraption. Harold, what's happening? Pretty sure that's why I quit using it in the first place. So we'll just set up with the system I usually use. Barrican, I got a question for you. There. Old genius one. Make sure my stream's still working. Yeah. What's it going to cost to get this laptop set up to start working with a camera deal, since I'm going to have Wi-Fi pretty much everywhere I go? And do I have to have a really fancy laptop for it, or can I just get a cheap one? That's the question of the day. That's the real question of the day, Barrican. Inquiring minds want to know, mainly me. Damn, it sucks, man. Really hoping this dude would work better.
To run OBS and 2 or more cams, it's going to need to be somewhat beefy unless you want glittering and crap.
I mean, am I going to need like a $1,500 gaming laptop or $2,000 gaming laptop, or what am I looking at here? So I got an idea.
Around 1,500 to 2,000. Not gaming per se, but powerhouse with RAM, CPU, GPU.
Damn. At that rate, I should just bring my damn home computer out here, but I found another phone. I have a brand new phone in the box, but I don't have an active SIM card for it. Is that going to matter?
Where are you looking to use it?
Well, I can hear Fish House, Be kind of cool if we were out camping and instead of me having to drag a camera.
Out here or on the road?
All of the above. Even if I went to single camera.
So desktop's out.
Problem is, I don't think my Wi-Fi is good enough to run my desktop out here. I mean, I could. A bad thing is in the summer it might get too hot in here.
Second phone doesn't need SIM card. It can use Wi-Fi.
I have one of my old work phones here. I just realized that. How many phones can you set up at one time?
Cloud server could prob handle 4. Maybe more. I'm just thinking for fishing, because if I put one, for sure if I put one on the rod and then I put one facing me, and then people could switch views as they saw fit. But how does that work with the microphones? That would be the question. Does it pick up on the microphone from the phone that the view is on? Such a peaceful night.
Yeah, I think there's like 4 people watching me, maybe 5. Oh, you missed the chaos. I started snowblower and I started pushing all this shit. And I'm like, you know, I could just push this stuff right out the door, come in with a skid loader tomorrow and get rid of all of it.
For the we can use whatever one want. Mike.
Well, I'm just, the reason I ask is because if I set my microphone up on, say, that phone, and then all of a sudden they switch views, you know, is it still going to get the sound from my microphones even though it's hooked to that phone? I don't know, maybe when I get the garage clean, what I do is I figure out maybe move the Wi-Fi stuff in my house so it's closer to that room, and I set the computer up. I gotta find a Wi-Fi booster. That would help out a ton.
Yes, I can make it work that way.
Yeah, because I just realized I have another phone right here. Used to get these for $1 a piece. I can't get them no more. It has a SIM card, but it's inactive. I can't activate it. Well, it's a brand new phone. It's never been used. I used to get these for $1 a piece. Charge that puppy up, I guess. Yeah. And then figure out how to get that.
How old is it?
Probably about 2 years old. It's a Galaxy S21 FE. It's 5G compatible. (2022) was when it was
It should
manufactured.
run the software, no problem.
Yeah, it was manufactured in 2022. So let me throw a charge at her. Shouldn't take it long to charge, but check my batteries over here.
You know what, Billy? I could go for a nice mozzarella stick. How about you?
I gotta remember to bring my recovery charger out here so I can recover that battery.
Billy says, yup, I thought he would never ask.
Okay, so this one's fully charged. This one needs to be charged. Yep. Oh shit, I gotta find my fishing light too. I was gonna show what you that set up. We're gonna have to start getting the summer gear ready to go on the old expedition. I don't know, I have to decide, because if I'm gonna take the now I know why people buy 2 or 3 of these Starlink dish things. Like people who are out like doing the whole live stream on Starlink.
It is that time.
What do you mean is that time? Yeah, I need to bring my recovery charger out.
to get ready for the riverbank.
Yeah,
American says stand by. I'm going to run to the truck and grab something to show y'all.
okay. So I've got I need some sawdust. Yeah. Well, maybe I turn the van into the streaming and fishing van, and camping, and then I use the Expedition. I mean, at least over the summer, the van I probably, and then switch them out when wintertime hits. I run the Expedition, just use their Expedition as a work rig, going to and from work. Because like when I'm fishing around here, you know, it'd be nice to be able to keep the Starlink just mounted to the van.
Billy says makes the most sense.
That would be the I'd like to say we're going to do at least one camping trip a month. And then once we get to our campsite, I'll have to, first I got to get see if the van even has a roof rack set up on it. If it doesn't, then that'll ixnay the Starlink from being mounted to the van.
That would be the Minty situation.
Should look on eBay and see if anybody's selling any of them Starlink paddles. That's all I need is I need a second one of those. I don't need the whole unit. Because then, you know, once we get to a campsite and I got to move the Starlink dish around, I can just unplug it from the one in the van and then just plug it into the second one and run. I'm going to get the long cord, get the longer cord so that way I got some room to run with it. I'm going to order that before springtime hits. As far as boat fishing, I don't know how I'm going to make that work on there yet. Right now the van's just going to be a basic setup. It's just going to be basic like the clapped out minivan. I already have a diesel heater. I'll probably do the Stinger controller and just put a couple of deep cycle batteries in it for now. Just that way, if I do have to run I don't want to put my 300 amp hour lithium batteries in there because I think they're going to be a little too big. And I would have to keep that thing climate controlled at all times for the lithium batteries. Pretty sure I would. I don't know. We'll see. Get my money right, maybe I'll just order a whole nother set for the fish house. Put these ones in the van. I like having that 600 amp hours of lithium. That is a game changer. That is a huge game changer. The only thing that I would have to do with the van then is get a DC to DC charge controller. Because then I could charge the batteries off and just run in the van. And I could put just like I got now, get another one of those Renogy kits, where I could take the one out of the fish house, put that 100-watt kit on the van.
Does your job stay consistent all spring and summer?
Yes. Yeah, I'm not seasonal anymore. I got a Monday through Friday job, but so they make 12-volt AC systems now.
Nice.
I'm kind of, the conundrum is because like the minivan's a different layout than the big van. I like the minivan because I'm going to have my cooking set up right in the back like I used to, where I can just open the rear hatch, get out and cook something, go back to the basics of when I used to just, camping for me was not that hard of a setup. It was easy. So I'm not going to overcomplicate it like I have in the past. One thing about me is I hate teardowns and setups. And my camping setup got to be where it was taking me almost 2 hours to get everything set up, dig everything out. I want to just go back to the basic stuff. The clapped out minivan was by far my favorite camping setup to date. It was nice because I could climb in there, I could go to sleep, I had extra supplies, I would stop and get groceries for the day. Eventually, that little 12-volt cooler I had in there, that thing worked phenomenal. Wasn't quite big enough most of the times, but most of the time it worked absolutely phenomenal. Unfortunately, it was just one of them cheap Amazon specials, and it didn't work for very long. So, and I used to just use a 2-burner propane cooktop on that. I didn't really have much need for a battery other than charging my stuff. I had my phone chargers in there. But now we're going to be drawing a little more power with the Starlink, so if I don't want to do anything more than that 500 watt pure sine wave inverter in there. And truthfully, with that setup, I don't mind using my French press setup. I can honestly, I have a diesel heater. So like if we end up in a situation like I was in South Dakota, I will stay plenty warm. I will stay plenty fine. The only thing that'll probably get me is midsummer camping, and that would be the most expensive part, is setting up a 12-volt AC system in it. maybe we just don't do midsummer camping. If it's going to be hot, we just don't do it. You know, maybe I just put a max air fan in there for comfort. And, you know, on the really hot days, we just don't go camping. What I used to do in the clapped-out minivan is I would just let it idle all the time. That thing had an AC system in it, though, that would freeze you out of it. That dude would get just plumb nasty cold. And that one I had, well, Mr. Ned Flanders bought me a Mr. Buddy heater because he seen I was using a propane stove in there. When it would get hot, my 2-burner cooktop, I would bring that inside and I would just run that for heat, and he didn't like that. He didn't like that at all. But now that I've gotten into diesel heaters, that's kind of been my... And no, I didn't do the individual kit thing because when I got the one with the fuel tank on the side, but I've learned what I'm going to do is just start pairing smaller gas cans instead of trying to tip up a bigger gas can, because it's like, you know, I've got like that little 2-gallon can.
Yes, there is no reason to be miserable when it is too hot and muggy.
Well, the 12 volt, you can look them up. If you look them up on your computer or whatever, look up 12 volt AC systems. They're a 2,000 watt draw. And it's like, I don't know how long a 600 amp hour battery system would support that. You know, so then is it smarter just to go get a rooftop AC for an RV at that point and just run a generator to run it? But then you go into the situation, well, if you're going to run a generator, why don't you just put a portable AC in there? That's what I mean. You can't win. Heat's figured out. Heat's easy. Them diesel heaters have proven themselves to me. I mean, the last one I had was 4 years. The only thing I could not stand about that thing is the gas tank was directly above the heater. So that means every bit of diesel fuel would be right on top of that heater. You have to smell that diesel smell burning in there for. Do this and do it right, and I really like the 12 AC set. I can take the for the most. I think avoiding them very hot days is probably going to be the key, and then just getting like a mag there, you know, just to kind of suck the heat out of there, or you know, blow some.
Alert, we can't see you.
That's because Barrican's doing something.
Now we can. LMAO.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We'll, you know, we'll figure it out as we go. I don't really like the idea of cutting holes in the road. You know, and I still have the small trailer. I still have the little courier box trailer, so I can haul some extra gear with me if we're going to be gone for, you know, 4 or 5 days. Yeah. I need to get a small piece of steel and fab that in there. The floor is all the way shot in that. Need to just get a small piece of steel. If anything, I'll run it up to work and use a plasma.
Barrican says there. 2 cans. Billy says nice.
Well, we'll get her set up. It'd be nice to have one just focused on the rod. And, you know, well, the old camera program we used to use, you could do picture in picture, but boy, that thing would go through some juice. I think out here what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to bring my PC out here. I think it would be easier just to hardwire some cameras in out here. We could put my microphone system on it. You know, that part would be easy. So that way when I'm out here in the garage, I just gotta, I'm gonna have to rearrange a lot of stuff. Like my radial saw is gonna have to go on this side over here somewhere, or I believe that's on wheels.
Barrican says old PC in garage would work wonders.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that.
Cloud server isn't liking 2 cams.
Barrican, find me a good signal booster. I'm gonna need one of those. Unfortunately, my house is solid concrete. It's cinder block, but it's filled in cinder block with rebar in it. So Wi-Fi signal, like right now, it's working good right where it's at, but I don't know how well it would support an entire PC right now. I'm definitely not going to pay Charter to run a second internet service out here because their initial internet service sucks.
Run a wire.
That's a lot of work. My garage and my house are not connected. I'd probably need like a 200-foot Ethernet cable.
That's not that hard. Put some PVC too.
It's not that, it's drilling through my cinder block house. That's the hard part. That's the hard part.
Drill bits.
Yeah, till you hit the rebar. I've already drilled one hole in the side of this house, and it took some serious workings. Because I'd have to switch from, I went through probably 4 masonry bits and the long shank carbide metal bits that I had to get were like $45 a piece. And I went through 2 of them. We can make her happen, Captain.
Billy says how many miles on the van?
No idea. Not a clue. Don't care. Should never got rid of my first one. But I had a friend in need, and that was my extra vehicle at the time. So that's what they ended up with. But I will not make that mistake again. Run that van until it's rotten, and then find another one. The whole thing that really bummed me out is I really wanted to get a Transit Connect van. I really like those, but they quit making them. And I really, as much as I wanted a bigger van for standing up and walking around in, at that point, I might as well just buy a used RV. And I don't. The thing is like the minivan I can feasibly drive around everywhere. The RV I cannot. You know, that minivan will pull 21, 23 miles to the gallon driving it around, where that RV is going to pull 7. I mean, don't get me wrong, my wife would love nothing more than for me to go find another 36-foot motorhome. We enjoyed that thing, but the thing is, we never used it. That thing cost, you know, I never realized, and mine was an old used one. We called it Shitters Full. Mine was an old used one. And don't get me wrong, there's a couple of them that if I ever came across, like the old Winnebago Chieftain, if I came across a Winnebago Chieftain, yep. As long as I got one that either had the Chevy or the Ford motor, I do not want the Chrysler setup. The Chrysler setup, that 440 that they put in those motorhomes, and the wiring mess that was in those things, I do not care to deal with. But, you know, and honestly, in that situation, as much of a Ford guy as I am, I would rather have a Chevy setup, because the Chevy setup is a 3-wire run system. But then Chieftains all of a sudden got really, really popular, and people are willing to spend good money on them. I like the Chieftains. The Chieftains I grew up with them, that's the thing. My grandparents, for as long as I could remember, up until their last motorhome, all of them were Chieftains. They were basically built on a 1-ton dually pickup chassis, and a 1-ton dually van chassis, and they were just big enough to be comfortable, but small enough where you could park them whenever you park a 1-ton pickup. You know, if you had a crew cab 1-ton. What in the world is going on over here? Oh, American's favorite streamer got online. That's why.
Dash says minivan has around 140,000.
Oh, I didn't even broke in yet. Hell, the clapped-out minivan had 327 or 337,000 miles on it when I got rid of it. You know,
Barrican asks garage is to the west of the house. Billy says
yes.
Not bad at all.
Yep. And the Wi-Fi setup is in the northeast corner of the house. So I'd have to run a wire down into the basement. I have to see where the cable comes through. I think the cable comes through. No, that hole ain't big enough. I can tell you that right now. It will not fit a Ethernet cable through it, because that is sealed, and it was not that big.
Barrican says that's easy. Punch a hole in the wall. Dig a trench, put some PVC in the ground. To Laserbeam says just turned 100K on my truck. Almost the exact day from when I bought it 10 years ago.
I just got the oil changed in the Expedition, because it's been a year since last April's the last time I had it changed. I have not put 5,000 miles on that oil change. Now, don't get me wrong, I had the van kind of back and forth too. But the van I just drove to keep it percolated, and we used it last summer to go fishing. But yeah, it's weird for me. If you've known me for a long time, I drive. My vehicles get driven a lot. My average was 110,000 miles a year. I would kill a new car, a brand new car. I could usually kill them in 3 to 5 years, depending on what they were.
Barrican says Wi-Fi sucks for video streaming. To Laserbeam says only time I put miles on is for fishing. Other than that, not much of any.
I drive 3 blocks to work. Like, I have to take my truck out a couple times a week, and I have to take it on like a 15 to 20 minute drive before
Dash
work. Says
I just picked up a 4.5 pole saw today. That'll fit an Ethernet cable and a few squirrels and bunnies.
It's not the garage I'm worried about, it's my house. The garage is easy. I got a whole run right here. I can run through the garage. I got the old gas line from the original stove that was in here. I don't know. We'll figure that out after I get everything else done.
Barrican says, but yeah, we'll have to look at upgrading the cloud server for multicam.
Even if we're doing it off a PC? I don't know.
Or maybe we just build you a PC and I'll stick it in my rack wall.
I don't know. We got to figure something out because I'm already paying a lot for that cloud server. What do I pay for that every month? I know it went up. I'll tell you here in a minute.
To Laserbeam says I wouldn't worry about hard line. You could just as easily get one of those line of sight Wi-Fi deals. Both ends are hardlined and put them in a window facing each other. I try that before I go drilling holes and digging trenches. Barrican says your PC will be fine for the garage, but I'm thinking of summertime when you're on the road. The cloud server won't handle 2 cams. I just tried and it was getting real laggy. Lost Wi-Fi is easy $800 plus. And it still sucks when it comes to video streaming.
Yeah. I want to say I pay like 150 or 160 for the cloud server now. I know it's not cheap.
Sounds about right.
So if I gotta up the cloud server, we're probably looking another $100. I can't afford that. Not if I gotta run Starlink too. I can't afford. I know I can't because I'm over 300 a month as it is if I run Starlink.
It depends on how you want to run it. Do you want to stick with phones, live view, or look at getting webcams? To Laserbeam asks, what cloud service are you using?
Stripe, I think. Stripe? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what I'm using.
Barrican says that's the billing processor. It's a rented GPU VPS. To Laserbeam says, as I was to get a laptop for streaming, I try Prism Studio and use phones wirelessly for the cameras. You just scan a core thing and it links your phone as a camera. Code. Barrican asks, would you want to stick with phones and maybe a live view down the road or look at going USB cams?
I don't know. I'm at a loss. The reason I've stuck with my phones this long is because that's been the only thing that's been consistent. You know, live view, hell, that's to get that set up, you know. That's, what did we figure? That was like $450 a month to run. I don't remember. It was either $400 or $650 a month to run for unlimited. And from all the stuff I've been reading, the new LiveView Pro is the way to go. I don't know which way to go. I mean, I would like to go to LiveView and just be on LiveView because it seems like it's the simplest system to run. You know.
Billy says that is not worth it. Then you feel like you have to press for content again. Dash says I'm off to bed. Have a great night, everyone.
You too, brothers. Thanks for hanging out. I don't feel pressed for
Barrican
content.
says, so here's the thing. If you go laptop and cameras to the laptop, you'll still need a cloud server. Cause if the laptop goes offline, loses signal, you need the cloud to keep your stream live on Twitch. Billy says night Dash.
I don't know. Like I said, there's lots of times when it comes to the signal stuff, I just wish I would have stayed a
Lol
studio stream.
Gramps.
Well, there's been times where I couldn't. when we first moved back into this house.
Barrican says it really seems like it might be better to build a PC, and I'll run it off my internet or something.
What's that going to cost?
Save the cloud money. That's $2,000.
Okay.
In 1 year, you'd cover the cost of a PC build LMAO.
Yep.
Billy says that way you have it and done and paid for in due time. Barrican says the only risk is if I lose internet. You're down LMAO.
Yeah, but how often does that ever happen to you? Not to mention your speeds are absolutely asinine.
Rare, but it's happened.
Yeah, there's lots of days I miss just being in the studio for 2 to 3 hours a day. Life was simpler that way. No signal to chase, no nothing. Fired up, turn on, talk some garbage, turn off. Be an IRL streamer, they said. It'll be great. I remember when I first started doing IRL, I had it simple. I just stream from
I went 4 days last summer cause the idiots cut the main pipe in my area while rebuilding the bridge. To Laserbeam says I mean Belaybox cloud service is only like $10 a month. That's an option.
Oh, they have lots of issues with that though. I've seen lots of streamers have issues with that. It is definitely not as reliable as what I have.
Barrican says Belaybox isn't OBS. It's just pulling the feed from your phone.
I've seen lots of streamers have issues with that. That's why we quit building ours. It was great. It looked like a legitimate deal, but the thing is where people are going to get hurt with the Bella box setup is when they go SIMless, when phones become SIMless and they go digital. There won't be a SIM card for phones anymore. And when that happens, that's going to put a hurting on the guys with the Bella boxes. I got a whole Bella box setup. I'll sell it. That American's got, we'll sell it to somebody. Just pretty much needs to be put together and programmed. I was getting pretty serious about putting one together, and then I seen a whole ton of people having issues with them, and I'm not impressed.
So it goes, Belaybox camera to Belaybox cloud to OBS on PC or OBS cloud server to Twitch.
I don't, like I said, I'm not really impressed with that system, and I'm glad, you know, I was into mine for quite a bit, but I would have been really mad to get it together and then have all the issues that other people are having, and I just, Dave.
With finding out our current cloud server won't handle 2 cams or more, building a PC and hosting it in the Canada land sounds like the best way.
So, it's $435 a month to run Solo Pro with 4 modems. $435 a month. So that's the thing. If I could get the system, like they just
Then
released.
you can throw multiple phones at it, or a live view down the road.
So they just released the Backpack V7, the version 7 setup, and
you'll still need the OBS cloud with live view.
right, but you can get their cloud. You get a heavy discount on it if you. Where did I see that? Yeah, it's $129 standard rate a month for their cloud setup, and you're locked in. The V7 setup is pretty nasty. It's getting a lot of rave reviews.
That's the option too, but then you have $400 data bill every month.
I paid just over $300 now. Starlink cost me $165, and
It's half a dozen each way.
yeah, I pay what is it? I pay $165 right now for Starlink, and then another $150 for the cloud server. So it's what, $315 I'm paying a month right now. Yeah, $315 a month I think I'm paying. total right now. I don't know. We'll just run
I
over.
would say stick with the phones for now. I mean, you got that second one collecting dust.
Yeah, but if the current cloud server can't handle it, then it's kind of pointless. Kind of pointless to fire up a second one if it can't handle it. Let's keep rocking what we got. I just don't want to spend another $1,500 to $2,000 on a phone. Damn, I'm getting tired. I think it is bedtime. Oh no, I still gotta go over to Half-Ass Garage yet. Shit. Can you raid me out, please? Fuck, it's 10 o'clock. I didn't realize it was that late. I was supposed to head over there around 9.
There's a sub. We'll run what we got. Run what we got for now. Maybe we'll just go back to the Twitch app. We'll just run the Twitch app and save all sorts of money. Let's go back to the basics. What do you think about that? Lose all our sound alerts, everything. We'll just go back to the Twitch app. Anybody? I just don't think that would fly very well around here. Yeah. Run what we got. I found something for Billy.
Billy's probably in bed.
This is for you, Billy.
Oh, shit. Well, everybody, I appreciate you. Didn't get anything done tonight, but that's all right. Yeah, I got a couple tools put away. I'm going to run over to Half-Ass Garage for a little bit, and then I'm going to come home and go to bed. Billy's got to have a after-stream consult with the Oilers.
RDY.
Send it. Send it. Send it. Send it.